As we discussed today, there is a lot that can hold us back from being great leaders, and many of us are aware of it. We know that there's a path to better work, to greater contribution, and to going home with a greater sense of pride and purpose, knowing that we're living up to what's possible. Also because we're reading your books and coming across your words of wisdom on the internet. For all those managers facing these thoughts, who know there is something missing, who know that there is something to work on, what words of encouragement would you have for them?
I think it's time to stop perpetuating the scam. The scam has been around for 100 years or so. Show up, do what you're told, stick it out, be a mushroom. I'm going to keep you in the dark and dump crap on you. And then one day you'll get to be me. The generations that are coming up have figured this out. And I'm not at all surprised. The only thing I'm surprised by is it took so long for people to say, why would I be a cog in your machine when I see how badly you treated my parents and their parents? So here you are, the manager listening to Andre's thing, and you have the opportunity because you own the means of production. You have the keyboard. You have access to people who, quote, are above and who, quote, are below you, and you can make it different. And there are plenty of examples of organizations, of teams, of enterprises that have decided to make it different. Is it easy and convenient? No. That's why it hasn't been done a lot. But easy and convenient should not be the requirements to do this work that matters. So I've organized teams, sometimes big ones, in 90 countries around the world. It is possible to give people a project, create the conditions for them to contribute, and when they're done, say, this is the best project I've ever worked on. If you're not doing that, then why are you taking up space?
It's embarrassing that Seth and I have a career because we talk about disruption. We talk about challenging the status quo. We talk about doing things differently that should be, and we talk about upending the way business has been conducted over the past 30, 40 years. But the great thing is there's an appetite for what we're talking about, which means the revolution is afoot. Because I can tell you, I can speak for me personally, that if I had my career in the 80s, there would be no career. I'd be laughed out of the room by the Jack Welch disciples, which was the popular thinking of the day that still perpetuates to this day. Look at Boeing. Okay, Boeing is run by a former GE guy. No shock there, right? Where numbers and schedules became more important than safety of an airplane, right? So no shock there. And so the good news is what Seth is saying is right, and there's an appetite for it. There's a good number of people who say, I don't know why, but something feels wrong about the way I was raised to lead, or the way I was raised to manage, the way I was raised to build a business, or the way I was raised to incentivize my team, the way I was raised to treat my employees, my team. Something feels wrong, and I don't know what it is. And what your podcast is doing and what you're attempting to do, Andre, which we love, which is why we want to be a part of it, is we're giving little tidbits, some big instructions, some little instructions, some points of view, some mindset stuff that help those early adopters and those challenging the status quo move the needle. Because I can tell you, writing books is not the thing that does it. The thing that does it is the people who show up to work every day and are implementing and testing and trying things out, some of the things that all three of us are talking about. And I am very, very bullish that in 10 to 15 years, the working world will look completely different because a young generation and an enlightened older generation are saying, this is not the right way to build business. We have to do it differently.